Hey, Spiritual View Tribe, it's Serene. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday, October the 27th, 2024. Thank you for joining. And we do daily content, so my day is Sunday. I like to call it Serene Sunday because I was raised for this to be a day of rest. So today's message is very interesting because I would say over the last several weeks, most of the readings that I've done, both in the Akashic Records as well as tarot, have been around relationships, and people are really struggling with relationships in general, whether it be a spouse, a romantic partner, children, siblings, friends. And it just seems to be there's a lot of upheaval in the energy between people right now. And if you're like me, many of us are experiencing a lot of spiritual expansion ourselves, and those around us may not be in the same place, and it's causing friction and tension. So it's been on my heart for the last several weeks, and I thought, you know what? Let me just pull some cards to talk about the energy and what is Spirit's message for you as you navigate the waters ahead, considering relationships. So I'd like you to focus on one right now that probably is not going well. And you're sitting here asking yourself, should I stay or should I go? Do I cut the cord and cut loose, or do I stay and invest in this relationship? So I took the liberty of pulling some cards this morning, and I wanted just to read the energy of the collective. So if you're in this funky space like me and you're looking at relationships and evaluating those, but it's just been plain hard, this video may resonate for you. I also just had the experience with my iPhone. I dropped it in the bathtub, and I thought, oh, dear God in heaven, I'm getting on a plane in the morning, and I don't have time to go to the Apple store, but it is working. So I have miracles and gratitude. So I'm going to start off this morning with if you look at the situation, which archangel is giving us guidance to help us navigate how we feel in this challenging relationship? So if you got that one in mind, think about it and think about kind of how you're feeling and sensing, and where are you in this, and can you continue to move on? So the archangel that showed up today, which I love, is Archangel Shamuel. Open your heart to give and receive love. Your essence is love. Archangel Shamuel is a beautiful white and pink angel of love. All aspects of love are held in the 33 chambers of your heart chakra, and Archangel Shamuel helps you explore these. When you receive this card, the guidance is to reevaluate all your relationship through the eyes of love. Open your heart to everyone, especially those who are challenging. When you can accept them as they are, your heart chakra radiates a glorious white pink light. Your aura becomes warm and inviting, and people behave differently towards you. Look at personal and world situations with a wise, compassionate heart. Do not enter into drama in thought, word, or deed. That's hard right now because we're all getting triggered, me included. Rather, ask Archangel Shamuel to help you raise the vibrations of lower situations with the power of your heart energy. You are being reminded that your heart is the most important spiritual center. Connect with Archangel Shamuel and attract loving and gracious situations into your life. So, if you are confused, if you are troubled, if you are really challenged to find that compassion, call upon Archangel Shamuel to help give you guidance through this turbulent and challenging situation with a loved one. The other card I pulled, and this is a new deck, and this is called the I Ching Oracle. And this is a deck that is based on the principles of Buddhism and some of the principles of Confucius. And it formed the basis of Chinese feng shui and Chinese Eastern medicine. So the card I pulled indicates in a relationship that you've got conflict. Okay, I'm going to read this. Look at what went wrong. Be honest with yourself. Seek advice. Be willing to compromise. Speak out for what is right, but also know when to stop. Okay, and it says, take time to assess this situation. It may be that you've not been communicating openly or that distrust has developed. Work to remedy the dispute if you can. Try to understand the other perspective. Don't take on anything new until the conflict is resolved. If you've done something hurtful or if you're out of alignment with your principles, then you should not perpetuate any arguments. If you are sincere, then speak out for what you believe in without bringing things to a painful point. Develop a strategy, listen and have the courage to compromise. Seek out a neutral party to help. Working through conflict can be painful, but it's an opportunity to learn about yourself and create more harmony going forward. So if you've experienced conflict, it's saying be thoughtful in terms of how you remedy the situation. Don't enter into arguments, but try to seek compromise. I also pulled a card from the Shaman's Dream, and I really love this deck. Dawn inspired me to get this one. And the card that I pulled is Dances on Foot, the Balancing Act. It's a 9 card, and 9s again are towards the end of a cycle. So you may be completing a cycle with this individual in mind. It says balancing act, resourcefulness, saying yes to life. When Dances on One Foot shows up, you were called upon a new balance. Just as a dancer moves gracefully into each pose, no matter how precariously balanced a step might seem, you must bring equanimity to the situation before you, no matter how thorny or difficult a relationship seems. If you were putting too much work and effort into managing your life, your work, and this relationship, you were missing oftentimes the point. You have to be dancing while juggling your entire life, knowing that at any time, half of it's going to be up in the air. It's not that you're doing too much and finding it impossible to catch up. Rather, it's that you're confusing readiness with preparation. You'll never be fully prepared for challenges, but you can always be ready to say yes to the new invitation that the universe offers. Live in a state of yes to spirit and no to everything that's not infused with life, romance, vitality, and the sacred. You will be surprised by how quickly your load lightens when you hold true to this lesson. So there's something about balancing and not getting too invested to the point where you miss the point. It's about being ready and fluid when opportunities come and also when change comes. Now, I wanted to pull some tarot to say what is the guidance as we look at the energy of the collective. So obviously, many of you have experienced some challenges and some conflict, and it really is challenging the heart. And Archangel Chamuel is here to provide that guidance and that assistance to help you open the heart and love people through a compassionate lens, but also protecting your heart where you need to. I used the Light Seers deck today, and I'm using a spread which we learned in our master class called the Crazy Brain Spread. I love it. It's what do you think about a situation, what you think is happening, what's actually happening, what is Spirit's message to you, and what do you not see coming yet? And then Spirit gives some last words of guidance. It's a very quick spread, but it's very revealing. Underneath the deck, I pulled the Ten of Wands. I've got my puppy here, Luna, who is wanting to be on video for whatever reason today, so bear with me. The Ten of Wands is, of course, a completion of a cycle, but it's about carrying a burden for too long and having to give something up. And so have you been carrying a burden in this relationship that you can no longer carry? Is it time to let it go and to surrender and let the new come in? So for some of you, this might be an indication of you might need to pause the relationship. You may need to end the relationship, but it suggests that you've been really, really heavy laden in your heart about this situation. And that's the energy that's underneath. And oftentimes, what is underneath the deck is what's in our subconscious, what's in our operating system behind the scenes that we need to pay special attention to. What you think the situation is interesting, is the Emperor. It's Aries energy. And the Emperor is a sum of all kings, but this is around leadership. So is this about you making a decision and taking a point of view one way or the other? Do I stay or do I go? Or do I just pause at the moment? That's what you think this relationship is about, kind of where you are with this relationship. But what's interesting, what's going on in reality is the Magician. And Magician is Gemini energy. And this is all about what we want to manifest. So we've gotten the Ten of Wands so far, the Emperor, taking charge, being in charge of your destiny and charging forward. But what Spirit is actually saying, the situation is actually looking at your life and where you are in your physical and spiritual journey. And do I want to be in this energy? Is it old energy? Is it old relationship stuff that I've moved beyond and I can't stay in that energy? But what is it as you move forward in this relationship that you want to manifest? If you want to manifest the new, how do you do that? Well, Spirit's message is, which I thought was fascinating, is the Empress. And the Empress, again, is the sum of all the queens. It's beautiful, nurturing creativity. It is rebirth. And so, is there an opportunity to rebirth this relationship and manifest it in a different way that you haven't before? Is it time to reflect and to look at this situation and to say, I can't keep doing this the way it's been going. I have to define a new way of moving forward in this relationship because I've got to give up the old. I've got to give up this conflict and this drama, and I've got to be able to move forward in a new way and to manifest a new way of being in this relationship. Now, it's interesting, we've got the Emperor and the Empress, the pair. So that's a lot of very powerful energy. But when you take leadership, and you want to create, and Spirit's asking you to create. I'm going to show you. Luna is sitting right here, listening intently. I know it sounds good, doesn't it? And so when you look at this, do you want to birth or recreate a new cycle and a new experience with the same individual, maybe the next stage of the relationship? Does it need to change in order for it to be sustained? Because otherwise, it may not be sustainable. Now, what's interesting, I had two cards drop out of what do you not see coming that is on your path. And I pulled the Three of Swords and I pulled the Seven of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Swords can mean a couple of things, and oftentimes it's related to pain or grief or loss of a relationship. So it could be for some of you that you were deciding that I need to move on from this relationship or at least close this relationship where it is today. And it's going to take some work and some patience. The Seven of Pentacles is doing the work, but it also requires patience and wait and time for things to manifest and to come forward. So some of you may be deciding at this point, you know what? I think it's time for me to move on. And that's okay. And perhaps moving on and closing out this old cycle, yes, I'm going to feel grief and I'm going to feel sadness and heartbreak, but it had to break before I could actually rebuild it again. So for some of you, it may mean I'm actually moving on from this relationship and closing it off because I've got to give up this burden. But for some of you, it means I'm just closing out the way we have been working in this relationship to make room for the new. And yes, I do think this is about me taking leadership and owning my destiny. But the reality is I've got to choose how I manifest and show up in this relationship. And and I want to create a new beginning, and I want to nurture this beautiful new beginning of this cycle with the same person. But again, for some of you, this could indicate very well that you may be moving on and that there's going to be pain that's associated with that on a temporary basis. All right, my last two cards, Luna. The last message from Spirit moving ahead. Two cards came out. The Knight of Swords, which means you are going to be getting a lot of messages of truth coming forward that allows you, Luna, to understand what is it that I want in my relationship with this person moving forward, or of the like. And the Nine of Pentacles, which is a beautiful card of manifestation. And it generally means for me, someone working alone. Again, it's a nine, it's towards the end of the cycle, but it says, I am abundant, I am confident, I can do this. So for some of you moving ahead who are ending potentially a partnership or a friendship with someone, it's okay. You're going to be all right because you are going to get messages of truth of what is important to you moving ahead. And you are going to be just fine because this is such a beautiful energy of abundance, confidence, and you will be fine moving ahead. And I'm going to pull just one more card. The Spirit had one last message to give us for today, besides Luna jumping on me. What else did Spirit want to tell us about this relationship? One more card. And some of you may say, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. Yep, exactly. The Two of Pentacles. Some of you may be in a situation where you've got two paths to take. I spoke with someone a couple days ago in a reading, and she wasn't sure whether she wanted to go, path A or path B. And she needed to take the time to reflect. And she is now in the position of discovering her truth. What is important to her? And can she be alone and independent and abundant in the meantime? And she is determining what is the right path for her. So, for those of you who haven't made this decision about this person, that's actually fine, because you need to take the time to be in a position to manifest for what's in alignment from your soul and what you want moving forward. Because as you continue to expand in your spiritual journey, your vibration and frequency is going to continue to rise and to expand and amplify. And you want someone who is going to be of like vibration, of like characteristics, of like values and authenticity. And so, as many of us are going through this profound change and transformation and ascension process, we are seeing the relationships around us change. They must change. And some are going to be along the journey with us, and that is wonderful, but those relationships will continue to evolve. However, there will be some relationships where we are grateful for the journey, but we're going to close that chapter because our soul contract is, in essence, complete with that individual. You can honor that soul contract and you can love that individual, whether it be a friend, a lover, a parent, a sibling, but you don't have to regret the fact that you're moving on. So I think there could be some grief ahead, but there is an opportunity coming forward to choose the path of what is most important to you. And whether you stay or whether you go is not necessarily the point. The point is that you are taking charge as the Emperor, this Aries energy, but you're manifesting the new through the lens of what Spirit's asking you, the Empress, to create and to birth a new chapter in a current relationship, or to close that relationship to allow for the new energy that wants to find you, this perhaps new relationship to come forward. So, for those of you struggling with some of these relationships and things that are going on within families, within siblings, children, all of the above. And I've probably had one of all those over the last few weeks. It's challenging. It is not easy, but Spirit has your back. Ask Archangel Chamuel to give you guidance, and we will get through this. In fact, I pulled one last card from the Alice in Wonderland deck, and it is a beautiful message. I actually pulled this on the Friday Live for someone. And this says, shine bright like a candle. You will make it through this. And it says, you have a bright and glorious light within you that will shine through all the changes in your life, through every opportunity and perfect decision. It will shine despite of any mistakes and hurts that you might experience. The brightness within you is eternal and cannot be put out so easily. So despite the times when you fear that darkness lies ahead, know that this guiding light that you seek is inside of you. So you have the answers. You don't need to look outside of yourself. Your divine light is strong. You are radiant. Endurance, resilience, making it through a trying time, hopeful future, contemplating your purpose and your existence. And again, you're going through a process of change, and it's okay, and you will get through this. Spirit has your back. And again, these are messages for the collective. So whatever resonated for you, please take this to heart, because all of us are experiencing massive transitions and change in our relationships with those around us, and it's to be expected. So those are the messages for this Sunday. Stay serene, stay calm. It's all going to be okay. here with you on the journey. And I know for many of you, if you are going through a breakup or pain, there is work ahead. But you know what? There is choice ahead. There's truth coming in, and you're going to manifest and be okay and just fine on your own if that's the choice that you've made. Many blessings. Thank you for joining us today. Please like, subscribe, and share. That helps us grow the channel. Join us tomorrow live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I won't be with you because I am traveling tomorrow, but my colleagues and dear soul tribe are with you. And again, happy Sunday, and I'm hoping that you have a very blessed and wonderful day. Thank you.